everyone, we are taking a look at Land of Eternal Sleep in Adventure Mode, and I'm putting a little more detail into this guide than just the run-through that I did of this at first. The mech team does so much in this guild raid that I think I'm going to do a separate video just for the mech team, and please check the description for that. I'll link it in there once it is completed. To get all the information in, I'm going to try to use several different runs for this, so hopefully it flows together correctly, but it is not all the same group. Alright, taking a look at markers, the tank is going to tank at the green square, and the raid is going to stand at the number 1 for everybody but the mech team. The mech team will stand at the number 3. There should be over the orange diamond is where the tank goes to when they get the 20 stacks, and the 4 and 5 right there, the 5 and 6 right there are approximately where the portal spawns. And then there'll be some markers around the back for where you spread out for the bombs for the mech team. So the tank is going to go ahead and pull, and I'm not really going to focus on the tank too much for this. I have some other videos where it talks about the tank more and it shows what they do. I'll try to put some of those in the description as well. But for this, the tank switches at 20 stacks. Now, if you have red text over your head, you want to spread out, because here the mech team is asleep, and you want one purple line at least over the mech team. You try not to have more than one purple line, but 2 they can usually survive as well. For the mech team, there's 4 people standing back there, and they'll get the wraiths. You can see the 4 wraiths there. This is different than normal mode, where there's only 3 wraiths. Each person moves back 1 at a time to break the line connected to them from the wraith, and because this does an AoE effect. So if you do 2 people at once, it doesn't work very well, and usually it'll wipe the raid, especially if you get too many. Next up is this Void Storm, so you're going to go ahead and everybody run out away from the boss. The tank stays there at the boss, and if you're getting ready to switch, stay there as well so that the second tank can take the boss. Otherwise, you end up running over to there. So if the boss goes over to this marker because they've got 20, or because the tank has 20 stacks, just stay on the number 1. You don't want to follow the tank because they will have a bomb going off. Alright, next up is another round of wraiths, and here the boss is going to the middle for phase 2. If the boss had not gone to the middle, you see the top frame. I was breaking the wraith, and I would have next gotten text above my head for the bomb, and you have to then move back. This is for the mech team only. So if you didn't go into the portal, then it would have additionally had this bomb, followed by another round of sleep, and then back to the same mechanics that you saw already. If you are one of the 5 players assigned to go into the portal, or the mech team, go ahead and go into the portal now and go over and attack the mobs in the portal. You're going to attack each one in order, and there's only 1 at a time up, but you're going to attack each one, and when they die, it tells you the order of the portals that you kill, the color order. So here the first color portal we kill is green, followed by, it looks like, purple. Now up above you can see at the top, if you're outside of the portals, you just go ahead and kill the mobs and interrupt them. It is very important to interrupt the mobs, as this can also wipe the raid, and make sure not to hit the portals until you know the color order to attack them in. Now, I usually try and type out the order of the portals, just at least the first letters, so that we know what color order to kill them in. But here we're going to go ahead, now that we're out, we have started killing the portals, and go ahead, and just because I'm a tank, I went back to interrupting the mobs and helping kill the mobs here, which I think we have them all down. So we're just clearing out the portals now, and then we'll take the boss back over to marker number 1. So far this is the same as normal, except for 1 extra wraith on the mech team. Here's where it gets interesting. There's this crystal that goes around the center. It follows the circle pattern in the middle of the floor, and it puts a cross out. So you have to dodge the cross. We also are getting the seeds and the wraiths in the middle, as well as kiting the ball around the back. So this is where I think a separate video for the mech team would be really helpful. But as far as the normal raid, you do have to worry about the seeds. Just move out, and you have to worry about the cross, so avoid that. There is an additional mech here, which the entire raid has to worry about as well, besides this bead moving around the outside. Do not touch the bead when it's moving. And the additional mech is there'll be these wraiths that appear. Now let's see if they should have red text over your head, and you will get a purple circle around you. So here first we're doing Void Storm. Everybody move back and avoid the cross and the balls as they're being kited around. Now the balls there's a purple circle that'll appear on the ground, so make sure you're not standing too close to that, because if you are, you'll get the ball and you'll have to kite it. So here you see the red text over your head. There was some red text over some of the people's heads, and now we have these wraiths dropped. Now here's where we ended up not making it past, but the 5 mech team people, it's not good to put the wraiths under the portal like this. Have to go back into the portal and kill the wraiths on the inside. You can see this up at the top. Once those wraiths are killed, it will free the people who are stuck with the wraiths on the other side. Now here we're also just moving out from the seats. Now it just can keep continuing. If you have the ball, you'll notice that there are purple puddles in the back. If you have that ball, when you run into it to get rid of the ball, when it's really small, it will drop purple puddles, so just be aware of that. So if you're doing Void Storm, you can move out of the way. Now here's again, the bead is spawning in the back, and that's another one of these orbs that will chase the nearest person. Up next, there's more of the wraiths. Just make sure that the person who has the ball is the first person to break the wraith. Up next, the whole raid team has to make sure, if you get the red text, just move out. These are the Reapers again, where you get the purple circle around you and are rooted. Here is where it's really important to have a separate portal team from the mech team, because the mech team is still dealing with the wraiths and the balls in the back, and we need a portal team of 5 players to go into the portal and destroy those Reapers so that you can actually get broken free. So here again, you just see more of being chased by the ball and the crosses. There's the purple puddles when the ball is destroyed. That one is when somebody accidentally ran into the ball because it was too close to the raid. And so you need to make sure really to kite the balls in the very back. That's probably the most important thing for this. Again, for tanks, you just keep doing the same thing you're doing. Just keep switching off at 20 stacks. And with 2 tanks, it's pretty easy to do that. Alright, that's about it for this fight. I think the boss is just about dead. So hopefully you found this helpful. Phase 3 is really the hardest. And like I said, I'm going to try to do a separate video with the mechanics so that if you're on a mech team, you really have a good idea of what to do. Again, here we're just avoiding the Void Storm, and then it's followed by more of these Reapers, where you have to go near the portal. Right in front of the portal is not good because then you do get damage going into the portal. But place those Reapers and just continue to DPS the boss. Hopefully you found this helpful. You're watching VGO40, and we will see you next time in World of Kings.